Hello, welcome back to JDP Auto Engineering. Today you've got James and
John.
And today we're working on the Amarok again.
Yep.
So a bit of backstory to this one. You'll notice I'm sitting on a tailgate, and so is John. This is a tailgate. So I entered a competition on Instagram to win a $500 voucher for a crowd called Huracan Fab. They're based in Melbourne, and they make tailgate storage solutions. So, and for once in my life, I actually won something. So we got a tailgate storage kit from Huracan Fab, which we'll unbox in a moment, and we're going to install that on the Amarok today.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Here it is. It was packaged quite nicely. I should note that I did open it already. I was a bit excited because, as I said, never win anything, and I actually won something. Not even for my car, may I add. But anyway, so we'll get this open. Again, it was wrapped and packaged a lot nicer, but I did take it out and have a little look-see. So we got the option to have kind of like the cutting board material on the top, so it's kind of plastic, and so it's easier to slide stuff in and out. And we also thought just when we're cooking, otherwise I believe the default finish is carpet, like a marine grade carpet. I believe it opens this way. So this type of carpet, I believe, is the stock, well, factory option for the top. It comes with the template. So similar to a snorkel install, you should watch our snorkel install on the Amarok. So similar to a snorkel, it's got a template to show you where to cut. And then it's also got a sticker.
Woo.
The instructions, which I'll make sure I'll read thoroughly. John won't.
No.
And then just some simple self-tappers, a bit for them, and the keys.
There you go. We'll get this all out, we'll get the template on, and we'll catch right back in with you. Alright, so here's a list of the things that you'll need to do this. So we'll start off basic screwdrivers, flathead and Phillips head. We'll have a punch so that you can put your locating holes for drilling holes. Got a bit of a rust preventative. Some Sikaflex. It recommends Sikaflex 252, I believe, but this is the best that we have. Small files to get into those little, hard to reach places. File brush, may or may not need that. Bigger files for taking a bit more of the edge off. We got Allen keys and Torx keys. They're just to cover all bases. Drill bits for drilling. Angle grinding wheel to actually cut the surface out. Angle grinder with a grinding disc, and a gun. So, and also one of these, if you got one of these, really handy. You can put little bits in there. Magnetic, stays in. King chrome, good job. So we'll get to taking all this out and then marking things up.
So we're going to start by using our T25 Torx and undoing this cover plate. So this cover plate, covers the latch mechanism. You will note the tailgate's going down nice and slowly. So we have grunt gas struts easy up and down on this vehicle. I would recommend this for the installation of this tailgate storage system. This is because we're going to add a lot of extra weight into the tailgate, and you'll see that it's already very easy to lift up and down. So the extra weight shouldn't matter with making it easy to open and close our tailgate. So the cover plate is now off. We won't be needing that where we're going. Along here, there are 14 spot welds along these ribs here. We're going to need to drill them out. So you can either use a spot weld drill bit or about 12 to 15 mil drill bit, the instruction says. So that's the route that we'll take. So we'll mark these, the dog is there, hello Grady. got the worksite inspector out on us.
Dog.
So we will mark them out, center punch them, and start drilling them out, and we'll do that in a time lapse. So, as you've seen in the time lapse, we center punched out our 14 spot welds. We then followed that through with, I think it was like a 9/64 drill bit to pilot drill them, and then just finish them off with a step drill. We just found that easier than using a conventional drill bit in lieu of not having a spot weld removal bit. You can see here that that top skin is now separated from the bracing there. So I checked for all of them, so that's all hunky-dory. We also just used some WD and some cutting fluid to...
Yeah, these are things we didn't mention, but it'll just help with drilling the holes. Cutting fluid will keep your bits a bit cooler. We also found that it made drilling the holes a lot easier.
Yeah, funny that.
Funny that, yeah, you learn as you go.
So we're just going to vacuum this up. And then I think our next step is to get the stencil on.
Yeah, bit of a template. James and his instructions.
Love them.
Love them. Alright, cool beans. So we're just punching the centre bit of the template out. They've
Perforated it.
Yeah, with something.
It looks like it's been laser cut.
Which is pretty impressive because it's not overly burned.
No. So yeah, we're just taking the centre of the template out, so then we can mock it up like this. We've now placed the template onto the tailgate. The instructions are a little bit ambiguous on how you place it. It doesn't provide any measurements. One gripe we did have is how thin the paper is. So if you refer back to our snorkel installation video on the Amarok, you'll see that Safari provide a pretty thick cardboard template, which was really easy to line up. This being a bit thinner is a bit finicky because you can have a bit of slop in it. The instructions do note to place it onto the tailgate and then work from left to right, so that's what we did. We then got some strip magnets to hold it down, and then it shows in the instructions, it appears that the top of the template is aligned with this pinch weld, or seam weld, pinch weld thingy here. So that's what we did, and then we just measured left to right, top to bottom, and it appears to be as good as we can get it. It's all going to be covered by the box, so it should be fine. So now we're just going to run around with the texter and trace out to where we're going to cut.
So James has just mentioned, because I don't read instructions, in here it mentions something about the locking mechanism for the tailgate. Now this one isn't a key locking tailgate. I believe it's central locking?
No, it's got no locking mechanism on it. So some Amaroks do. They have a key lock on the back, but ours does not.
There you go. So yeah, when you put the template down, you just want to be mindful of the little latch. This one doesn't have it, however, so we can remove the template. The big unveiling, see if we did it right. And yeah, then we can get to cut. This one's a good one. This is a good magnet. Oh. Looks pretty good. Not bad. Good size. So right now James is just getting the glue off these centre tabs. Just want to be careful not to, you know, rip it up and dent the bottom, because if they are glued quite strong, when you start pulling and prying, you might end up with a dent or something. Is that working?
I think it was.
Yeah, that's working.
So I just got a little hacksaw cutter dude that you can get in under there. So I'm just trying to cut the adhesive that's on the tabs.
Which will probably be a silicon-based glue. This is what the inside looks like. You've got a bit of glue down in there.
So that one had already kind of pulled itself off. So we're lucky there.
And then on each of these individual pieces here, there'll be a bit of glue. You get them off, and then hopefully it should just
separate
straight out that way.
with those sound effects too.
Yeah, yeah. So just be mindful when you do this. Wear your PPE. It's really good to have a flexible blade here.
Yeah, the instructions note to try and pry it off or use a razor blade. I think a razor blade might be futile, and didn't want to try and pry it because we didn't want to bend it outwards when we're levering up, because we don't want to dent the tailgate from the inside. But this one I reckon is nearly going to come. The other three are off.
Yep. It's much easier when you pry that.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah. I reckon that's it. Oh, spoke too soon. So John's gone and cut these 4 tabs. So you just saw us cut the glue that held these tabs to the inside of the tailgate skin, and then we've gone and cut them from this other bit. So this should pretty much lift off. John's just gonna snip a bit. So then this lifts off, and the instructions do say use a hacksaw or your grinder to get in and cut these 2 ends. So we might try it with a hacksaw blade to start off with, because we don't want to go too far with the grinder and cut into the tailgate. And then yeah, this bit should lift out. So that was pretty tedious. So you can see here there's 2 spot welds that hold it onto the side of the tailgate. So this part that I'm holding was cut off the main brace, ran something like that, I think.
Yep.
What you can see here is we did try and cut down like the instructions intended. So this sits in there and you cut down along there. It was hard to get a hacksaw in there, and we were scared to use the grinder because we didn't want to slip and damage the internal side of the tailgate. So we noted that there were 2 spot welds holding this internal bracket on each side. So John went and cut the bracket off just closer to the inside where we had a lot of control. And then we bent this backwards, so it was something like that. Bent it backwards in there, drilled out the 2 spot welds, and then yeah, just pried off.
Thank you, Grady. So, finished drilling the tab in here, the spot welds on there. So, pop right off. Put him down in the recycling. Get a hammer, and we'll just try and figure a way to get that tab in. It's actually folded in quite nicely. It looks like it's meant to be like that. We'll just clean all this up in here. Oh yeah, we should probably do these first.
Gonna cut them.
Cut them out.
And then clean up the edge. So we might do a time lapse of that.
Yep.
And then we'll test fit it.
Sounds good. So we got it in now. I had to do a fair bit of extra grinding on the sides to make sure that it would fit. There's a couple of little bolt holes, or a couple of little bolts with nuts on the end of them. Well, this is quite nice to lift. I'm guessing that are for these. So you got little cutouts on the side. The template, they're a little bit shorter, or we're just really bad at measuring. I'm going to go with the former though, because we just widened them out a little bit, fell straight in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this back out. I've got the burps. Oh, not good. Twiggy sticks. Going to take it back out. We're going to clean up the inside of the tailgate, get all the old swarf and all that sort of stuff out, leaving bits and pieces of that in there. Moisture gets in, it rusts it, makes rusting faster for the actual tailgate. And then we're going to put some of that paint on the actual
bare metal.
Yeah, the bare metal. Sorry, words. Then we're going to silicone up, gooby it all up around here. We're going to lay it down. We're going to bolt it down. Simple Green, thank you for sponsoring us.
So, there we go. So you just watched a time lapse of us cleaning out the inside, applying some high zinc rich paint to the exposed edges. It doesn't say to do that in the instructions, but that is something that we recommend doing. Any bare metal is bad bare metal, especially in an off-road environment. So we did that, and then put some of the Sikaflex around the edges, and then sat it in. Once we sat it in there, you can see the square drive self-tapper bits that hold it in. We had some issues, particularly with these front ones. Where the holes lined up, the metal wasn't necessarily flat, it was on a bit of a curve. So it was kind of on like some of these bits here. So the self-tapper bit would skew when we're trying to drill it in. So what we did is we just got a small drill bit and pilot hole, pretty much drilled a pilot hole. The instructions did note to consider using a center punch. We found that doing a pilot hole was the better option. So we did that and then just screwed them up by hand. And yeah, it turned out pretty nice. It's nice and solid. It's definitely a lot heavier than it was. The easy up gas struts and easy down definitely help. Don't know what we're going to put in it. I think we'll try and keep it a bit lighter back here given how heavy the tailgate now is. Maybe throw in some of the snatch straps and that type of stuff, and then some other light bits and pieces. So thank you for watching that installation of a Huracan Fab tailgate storage kit. I would like to reiterate thank you Huracan Fab for the $500 voucher that we won in a giveaway. So that was pretty cool. That allowed us to make this awesome video and installing it on the first gen Amarok. Yeah, all in all went really well. Happy with how it turns out, nice and sleek.
Yeah, the instructions were fairly straightforward. There were things they could have included and maybe some actual measurements rather than guesstimating. Especially when it came to distancing for the template. We thought that was a bit, how you going? So
yeah, the photos that were included did help. Credit there, but yeah, I think yeah, definitely went pretty well. The trickiest part was probably getting the self tappers in at the end.
Yeah.
Just because, as aforementioned, it's a bit wrinkly, the sheet metal.
One good thing is they include the square drive bit that you need for the self tappers.
Yep.
Which we're glad we had because we didn't have one here today. So.
We did consider pop riveting it. That was another option. So if these screws back off over time, we might come through and drill a few more holes and put some pop rivets in.
Yep. Other than that, it was a good day. Very, very long. It took, how long do you reckon it took?
What's the time now?
4 and a half hours.
About that with lunch in the middle.
Yep, and lunch in the middle. Oh, we'll make it 5.
Yeah.
Round it up to 5.
5 hours sounds good.
Yeah.
We're recording it too though, obviously, so that takes a bit longer.
Yeah. But yeah, no, good video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Just like the classic thumbs up. Love heart, love heart. Oh.